Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you again. This time with a video that really doesn't get shown much by Nancy Pelosi's daughter. For those of you who have seen it, you might want to go back and listen to a lot of the details in it. This is about the January 6th supposed insurrection. There's a lot of things on here that a lot of people need to pay attention to, because it talks about how the Democrats, they never let a good thing go to waste. I forgot how the saying goes, they never let a good tragedy or something like that go to waste. But not that January 6th was a tragedy. It was only a tragedy for the two people that died that day, which was Ashley Babbitt and another lady. I keep forgetting her name, but she caught a heart attack, I believe. Regardless of what the media talks about, that all these police officers were killed that day, it's a fallacy. But one quick thing before I start the video, I'm hoping this video comes out good, because I recorded it before. I went to edit it and to upload it, and for some odd reason the video came up with another video I recorded embedded in it, and my editing application, the editing program I use, crashed, and it's taken me the last 2.5 hours from me recording this now to get it back up, which I find very strange, but let's see. But anyway, let's go and hope that it doesn't happen again.
Besides Paul.
Just Paul and this one, and he's from Temple, and then they put him down here.
So how am I going to get in? I need to know.
Ollie will be.
Can you? Is there you have a?
Because I was
investigator. Can you get on into?
I need to go visit. See, Paul wants me to come visit him, but he has. But I don't know.
Okay, so he needs to put you on the list.
Yeah, but the problem is that I want to go with a camera.
I will put you on the list. I will make some contacts, and I will try to get you on the camera.
I'm the camera guy, because I want to meet him too. See how the tree.
You need to get a permission.
They have contact
There's a
visits.
form. There's a form you can fill out. I'll get you the information. I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now, do you know anything about his? He had a. First of all, do you think that he's a?
No.
Do you think that he got a good deal or a bad deal?
I don't know.
You got 8 months.
Okay, so what I'm taking from the video, I watched it a little earlier. I believe these two gentlemen she's talking to, I believe they're lawyers, or they have something to do with one of the defendants from January 6th. And it seems like one of the guys, he makes a comment later on in the video of how he was retaliated on by some other people, calling him a white supremacist fascist. Well, it's just garbage. I mean, you know how the left does it. But my thing is that they never really said who was the one recording, and I've always been curious about that. Now, mind you, this video came out a long time ago, but it came out before, I believe, the whole January 6th committee fiasco started, and you would think they would have used, the Republicans would have used this information to shoot down their narrative even quicker. But you'll see how Nancy Pelosi's daughter confirms what a lot of people have been saying of the hypocrisy, of the lies, of how they destroy people's lives with the lies, how a lot of these defendants should have been released. They should not be in prison. But here we go.
Was he the one who got the lawyer went away?
Yeah, the
Yes.
reserves. Let's try.
Okay, let me tell you what happened. This lawyer, Patrick LeDuc, you ever heard of him?
No. He's
Okay.
a Tampa guy, right?
So he was in the reserves,
Right.
old guy,
Yeah.
really old guy.
Right.
He is a lawyer, but he's also in the reserves,
Right.
and he also
Yeah.
is very, very religious. So what he does when you come in, let's say you're the client,
Right.
the first thing he does is he says, "Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?" So he converts them instantly. That's what he's very into that. So what he did with Paul was he got Paul to go to church,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah, all that. So then he says, you have to do, God wants you to make right. You go right to the judge, tell him you did everything, and just face the music, period. So he did that, But then he felt like, this is one of these things. I actually call Paul my friend. We write every other day. I consider him of all of them. I'm torn between, so after the lawyer went away to the reserve to go serve he's in Afghanistan, he went and got another lawyer and said, wait a second, I feel like I was duped by my lawyer.
But then he got this new one.
He got a new lawyer who
And just a quick side note, I forgot to put the closed caption on. For anybody watching this, there's a certain part in the video that you should raise your volume. And also, I would turn on the closed caption at the beginning of the video. There's a lot of mumbling, but the closed caption picks it up. So you'll be able to read the words of what exactly was saying. Some of the words are a little distorted, but you can pretty much put it together once you hear some of it. And then you can say, okay, this is what they meant. So just keep that in mind, and I'll leave that in the description and the link to this, so you guys can remember.
I have not talked to because I'm not sure I trust the new lawyer. Because first of all, he gets out May 18th. Is the lawyer going to be able to get him out before then? I mean, it's already January, February.
Already with a conviction.
Yeah, but you could appeal it. Then it becomes like you're not a convicted felon. You still have status to appeal.
You can win an appeal.
Yeah. If you win the appeal and overturn it, so he still has some incentive.
So some days I tell him he got great legal. Sometimes I say 8 months was great, considering that the shaman who did not. I mean, what did the shaman do? He stood there. What did Paul do? He stood there. The shaman got how many months? 41 compared to 8. So
Okay, now right there, that's key. Everybody knows the January 6th shaman. They said he was, the one that got everybody riled up, which it was a lie. It was Ray Epps. That he was this big, conspirator, and that he went and tried to destroy inside the Capitol when Tucker Carlson was given the videotape by Kevin McCarthy. It shows otherwise. The man next to him was a guy that was standing next to him in the video that was at the pew. That man only got 8 months. The shaman got 41 months. And she's admitting right here that the shaman did nothing but stand there. And if you look at all the video, he was not aggressive. He was not abusive. He used, from what I remember, no curse words. He actually prayed inside the chambers. The police were letting him in, showing him around. So these are the things that the January 6th committee, all those traitors on that committee, okay, even those Republicans, those Rhino Republicans, they try to turn the truth. But you'll see in this video how she says how the powers that be turn things around. And this is something that every American, not some, not one party, no, every American should be concerned about, because this video right here goes to show you, and this is Nancy Pelosi's daughter. She admits how the media can destroy a person's life. But here we go.
A lot of things. And I think that the government is going to go for more, that they're going to look to get bigger. Like, people are criticizing some of the people who got home convict. A lot of people have been getting probation and stuff. So I think they're looking to make people, I think if Paul went now, he'd get a longer sentence.
What did he do? What did he do?
He just walked in with the Trump flag into the Senate.
That's it.
That's it.
And he got
Okay, so you heard what she said, that the government right now, the Biden regime, a lot of these people should have got probation. A lot of it you can't even consider trespassing for the fact that they opened the doors. And another thing, that AOC brought it up and they shut that video down. And she said she'd like to know who, because those doors to the Capitol, they're shut from the inside electronically. Somebody had to open those doors to let them in. They just don't have regular doors like on somebody's front door, to their house, that anybody could kick it in. No, they shut it from the inside electronically, so those doors get sealed shut. There's a reason for that, because it's the Capitol. But that's one of the things that nobody brings up. How they didn't breach those doors hard enough to bust those doors in. And the video shows otherwise. It shows that the officers were opening up doors. But here we go.
So I don't know if 8 months was good or bad.
Well, for the charge itself, I'm looking from a charge you
You
point
can
of
get to
view.
15-12.
See,
Yes,
but you
he
didn't
did.
walk into
Oh,
the
yeah,
Senate.
he did.
See,
He
walking
was.
into the
But I
Senate.
didn't do that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's the bad thing.
I wasn't
Right.
even there to say it. A lot of these people are like, we're here to overturn the. I wasn't even there for that reason. I'm not there to overturn anything.
I think they might have used him to shore up their 15-12 charge too, because if they have people pleading to it, they're telling the judges, look, we already have people who pled to this felony. So if you overturn it for one case, you're going to overturn all the prior convictions. It puts more pressure on these district judges not to overturn it because we have Paul, he's going to plead guilty to the 15-12. Because they dropped everything but the 15-12, the charge they never used before. So they're like, oh, this guy will take 8 months, and we'll have another plea. They make every single person charged with the 15-12 plead to the 15-12. I haven't seen them drop it.
I'm very
So-
interested on.
So basically, what they did, they got everybody almost on the same charge, and they could have easily just some people they did cause some havoc. Everybody knows now. The proof is coming out. There was a lot of FBI agents in the crowd that were enticing the crowd. They could have dropped those charges down to misdemeanors and give people probation. Even if they gave them 5 years probation. But no, if they drop one, then that means they got to drop them all. The narrative for the Democrats is no, we're going to make a spectacle out of everybody. Basically, they're the scapegoat. We're going to use them. We're going to parade them around. We're going to show people what we can do to you if we choose. They're very evil, wicked people in the Democratic Party, in the government, that will do something like this. But during 2020, the summer of love that the Democrats call it, all the fires, all the riots, all the murders that the left committed, that was peaceful. Nobody went to prison for 80-90% of that. And the ones that did go in, they're out. But yet, here we are 3 years later, okay? And people that should have just gotten a trespassing conviction, even if that, they literally went to people's houses and arrested people. People that were just at the Capitol. I mean, there was tens of thousands of people. Whoever they can get on camera, they hunted them down. That's another scary thing that people need to be aware of the surveillance state.
The first trial, how that's going to look like.
Well, I think the one thing, if you drag it out, after the Democrats lose the House,
Yeah.
and then they get rid of the committee,
Right.
people may lose interest.
Yeah.
The first trials are going to get a lot of attention.
Yes.
It's like anniversaries. The first one is a
Right.
big deal. They did a
Right.
really big deal.
Right.
January 6th,
Right.
no one's going to care after the Democrats are out of power.
Right.
And then take Biden out of office, then who cares? If you drag it out long enough, I wouldn't go first for a trial. Because D.C. is a lot of people that work for the government,
Right.
and it's a lot of, I don't think
Well,
I'm
that's-
sympathetic.
that's-
The jury, that's
See, and I didn't understand what she meant right there when she said to drag it out, or that she was saying that the Democrats want to drag it out. In other words, just give them fodder for the whole 3 or 4 years that they're in power, just because they're trying to stray away from something else. What they're trying to do, they're trying to drag this out. In my opinion, they're trying to. Well, from what I can get from the video, what they're trying to drag it out so they can just make Trump look like the bad guy. So if they can drag out these January 6th convictions and keep pushing the narrative that it was a bunch of insurrectionists, Trump is the leader for them, and then keep going, that's all people are going to see for 4 years. While all the other bullshit is going on, which everybody is seeing right now, even people on the left, they're fed up with what Biden is doing, they're fed up with everything that's going on. I mean, their whole agenda it's imploding on its own. But it's interesting what she said about dragging it out, which I think is a disservice to the people that are locked up, because it's like, like in New York City, they're letting out criminals for within no time for rape, murder, attempted murder, robberies, assaults. They're just letting them out. So these people that did that, that were at the Capitol, they didn't commit none of those crimes, and they're still being held in prison. Now, Is she telling them to drag it out, that maybe there'll be a lawsuit against the government after that? Psh, yeah, good luck on that one. But it seems like dragging it out, it just gives the media more airtime, basically, something to feed on. Because if January 6th would have never happened, all the media would have is to jump on Donald Trump. And they can't even touch him. Everything they bring against him just keeps fucking falling apart. So, something to keep in mind, but here we go.
Jury is
Because we don't think the trial should be held there. And
well, if you got
we're-
moved, you totally get off.
I
It's-
wish successfully move it.
No, they won't move it. I mean, think about it. They'll resist it. They'll say, I've heard in the hearings. They're going to say,
They're in the
how
mix of
dare
it,
you say
yeah.
we're not fair? We're fair.
Yeah.
And then it's the last time the government moved the trial was the Oklahoma City bomber. They agreed to move it to Colorado. So that's they stipulated. Even the Boston bomber case, which is now on appeal, the city of Boston, or the federal judge there was, what do you mean we can't be
And the
fair?
motion gets decided by the judge.
The
So-
judge- yes, but there might be more favorable up the line. You know, we go to the not even the DC Circuit of Appeals, the Supreme Court. They might say, well, wait a second, you have politicians every night comparing it to Pearl Harbor, 9/11.
That was just
DC.
sad.
In DC, they're under siege at the national.
Yeah, you see that right there in itself. That was disgusting to compare January 6th to Pearl Harbor, especially 9/11. I was there that day, and let me tell you something. It hit close to home. People that I know died. People that I know got sick and died years later from cancer. And you know, for the Democrats to use just one of those instances and compare January 6th to it, they're disgusting. Especially for Pearl Harbor. I mean, Pearl Harbor was an attack that nobody saw coming. Tens of thousands of people died when Pearl Harbor happened and the war just started. I mean, worldwide. You know, and I found it very fucking disgusting. You know, for every Democrat and on the news media, I mean, all these anchors, everything was Pearl Harbor and 9/11 and this is a day that'll live in infamy and this and that, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? They just have no respect. They have no morals, no scruples. But I'm pretty sure whoever watches this video will agree, and if you don't, I feel sorry for you. But here we go.
Project for 7 months. If you live there, you're like, I am under siege. I see National Guardsmen around here. You know, my city was attacked. The local media every day. You can't have a fair trial.
Well, the reason, I think time is going to remember
Yeah.
January 6th differently.
Yeah.
Right now, people are still healing. There's two things. Media needs stuff to fill. I mean, if you
Right.
watch TV on January 6th, it was like January 6th, 24/7. As time goes on,
Right.
it's going to be.
You heard what she said. She thinks that's what the media needs to fill. But here's the thing. This video came out a long time ago. And here we are 3 years later, 3.5 years later. And they're still bringing it up. It's cannon fodder for the Democrats and the mainstream media. That's all they have. Like I said, if January 6th never happened, okay, there was going to be a protest. There was going to be people there because, you know, Donald Trump was there and he was like, you know, saying goodbye, whatever the case is. But I believe, and it's coming out, that the whole, the way it turned out, like the whole rioting part to it, I think and the proof is coming out, that it started with the infiltration of the FBI agents. They were in the crowd and riling people up. And let me tell you something. I really hope that when Trump gets back into the White House, that he is going to go after the people that he said he was, and that he is going to dig deep to find out exactly who were all those FBI agents and hold everybody accountable that had to do with it.
Less,
Yeah.
and so I think also people are going to lose their office, the jobs. The people that were there are going to lose their jobs. So it's not going to mean anything if you weren't even there and
I
you
know.
don't even care.
We need like a war to break out.
Yeah, no, it's right, you know. But I thank you for your time.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen, I really, I know you're not the bad guy.
See, I just realized whoever this is, they try to cover the camera. And it makes me wonder if she knew and she wanted this out, or whoever this person is, like, why would this person he or she record this, you know, and put it out, and like did you not know you were going to get found out? And if they did, I'd like to know who this person was and what happened to this person. If anybody knows, leave the information in the comment section.
I mean, if there is, I haven't found the bad guy yet, but if there is, I know
Well,
you're
what
not
is
the
the
bad
guy
guy.
with the eye patch? I mean, he's like a stereotypical bad guy.
But the thing is, why I asked you the question of like, so what was the plan? Is that if there was an insurrection, you were supposed to be in line, marching. You're in the military, you know
Right.
this.
No, that's
You were supposed to have a plan.
Exactly. It's called
But if you're
operations
saying-
order. You sit down
like-
overnight with your soldiers. You go
Right.
over. All right, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go in by this side. At this time, we're gonna take over this. There's none of
If
that.
there was an insurrection, it's the sorriest insurrection in
It's
the
the worst.
20th, 21st century ever. No guns.
See, she's even questioning it. She's like, if it was an insurrection, you know, why wasn't it like this, and this? And going back to what AOC said, when she was asking questions, saying who opened the doors for the people to get in, that's what I'd like to know. And they shut her down. The Democrats shut her down when she made that comment out in Washington, out in the street. And I mean, that video came and left quick on the news outlets. And it's because it's obvious it was a setup, plain and simple. You know, now, is she playing gullible? Is she playing stupid? Or is she really gullible? You know, and not understand what's going on? But I'll let you viewers decide that one.
A guy
People taking selfies.
A guy smoking pot.
I love the guy
Yeah,
smoking
I'm like.
Well, we did that. We just went to New Hampshire
or-
last week for the guy that just was drinking beer,
Or my
wine.
favorite guy holding
The pew.
the pew, just
Oh, yeah.
waving. I'm
Oh,
like,
he's Florida. He's your Florida guy.
Yeah.
Wait, what's going to happen to him, Mr. Webb?
He got.
Yeah, look at that. An insurrection is people drinking and smoking weed. What an insurrection. Yeah, let's all get high before we storm the Capitol. That's great.
No, he
He
fled.
He fled.
I'm waiting for
fled.
sentencing, right?
Fled.
Yeah.
But what's he going to get?
Probably get a few months. I'm not sure if he got.
But he was standing next to the shaman in the Senate.
So is the plea?
The guys with the electric.
Yes.
Yeah, he did more. So that's what pisses me off. These people
They
are
already-
getting like
you know, they get
missed
accused
like
of taking
15. There was a guy that they said threw a fire extinguisher at the cops.
Yeah.
They gave him 15 days. How are you
That's
gonna
why
give these
we
guys?
told the prosecutor and the judge that he'll plead right now. We'll just go, for misdemeanor.
You're going to be able to laugh about this one day.
So, you heard that right there. There was an incident of one of the people there that threw a fire extinguisher, hit one of the security guards. Supposedly, from what she just said, from what I can hear, or the gentleman said, he only got 15 days for that in prison. Whereas the shaman got 41 months. So it makes you wonder. The guy that threw the fire extinguisher, that was assault. He went and pleaded guilty, only got 15 days. Why? Why is it the ones that really caused havoc, like Ray Epps, and admitted to it and bragged about it, he got off scot-free? It makes you wonder who exactly was in the crowd, because if you're looking at who committed which crime supposedly, why are the penalties so much different? That shaman dude, you know, he was in the room with another guy right next to him. That guy got 8 months. He got 41 months. One guy went and threw a fire extinguisher and hit and supposedly hit a police one of the Capitol officers. He only got 15 days. There's people that said they went home, that they were outside the Capitol, never went inside the Capitol, and the FBI tracked them down at their houses and arrested them. So it makes you wonder, like, who the fuck was who that day, and who exactly is coming up with these, with these penalties for whatever crimes were committed. It's just mind-boggling to think about it.
If I were you, I would drag it out. That's what I would do. My strategy is to drag it out. Because
Yeah, but my legs about to fall off of that thing.
if you can get that thing off,
Right. Well, that's the.
then I would just wait.
Oh yeah.
Because I wouldn't. The first trials, like I was in Ohio with this guy who is going to trial. He wants to subpoena Trump and make it like this whole like.
I heard about
No, they're not gonna.
It's gonna be.
They're not gonna allow that. They're not gonna. The district judge is not gonna.
Yes.
Look at that. Somebody in Ohio wants to subpoena Trump. I don't know what that's all about. If I had to guess, it's some Democrat. But it's like, what does Ohio have to do with, we're going after Trump? It makes you wonder. But it doesn't surprise me. And it wouldn't surprise me if it is a Democrat, because it's like it's like in New York with Alvin Bragg going after Trump. Then you have the other woman going after Trump, and then you got somebody else in Georgia going after. It's like in every state, everybody wants to go after Trump, and it's like, why? But that's the way the Democrats are. They have this hatred for that man, and it's not hatred; it's actually fear. It's fear for him and fear for his constituents, because they know that he won that election, and they know that if they don't find a way for him not to run for the presidency, that they're all up Schitt's Creek. But it's all backfiring on them. His popularity has actually gotten bigger. There's more people from the left saying that they finally see, and they're fed up, and they're switching parties, or a lot of them are just leaving the Democratic Party and becoming independent. So, if people say, "Oh, this is the new information they got, that's why they're coming after him," no. Like I said, this video came out a while ago, and she's saying that she knows somebody from Ohio that they wanted to subpoena him. And these guys, like I said, I'm assuming they're lawyers, because I don't know exactly who they are, but they're like, they can't. The judge won't allow that. And I'm assuming it's whatever judge they're going to bring it up to in Ohio, they're going to shut him down and be like, you have nothing to do with what happened over there. You have no business trying to subpoena this man. But let's continue.
I just want to subpoena the people who are involved with my case. For example, that officer that I gave water, the guy that interviewed me, probably maybe one more person. But other than that, I want people.
Did you find him, Officer Lopez?
Yeah, let's find him.
You should find him. I mean,
If he has a name, you can find him.
Yeah.
Officer
Officer Lopez. We found some stuff on. He's from like Coachella,
California.
From the place where the concert's happening?
Yeah, that's what.
I'll find him for you.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And that's another thing. I believe that officer they're talking about is the one that's been on lately, saying that his ankle was broken and he was bashed over the head. He was bleeding, but yet Tucker Carlson again put out that video of him walking around, and he was fine. As a matter of fact, he was right next to the Capitol officers when they were when the lady that caught the heart attack, they had her on a stretcher. He was standing right there, and no broken ankle, no bleeding, none of that. But he's over here saying, what had happened, and the narrative they keep saying that 5 officers were killed that day. Not one officer was killed that day. Not one. 2 people died. Ashley Babbitt, she got shot in the face, or shot in the neck by one of the Capitol Police, and the lady that caught the heart attack. The one Capitol officer that died, he died the next day of a heart attack, of a stroke or a heart attack. Supposedly 3 of them committed suicide, which I find very strange. For 3 different people, for three people that were on duty to commit suicide. I understand people get stressed out. If one of them committed suicide, I could understand he was stressed out. He thought he failed doing his job. He was disgusted with whatever happened. I get it. But for 3 of them to commit suicide, and this is another question a lot of people are failed to ask, and maybe they have. Where are the family and friends for those 3 officers that committed suicide? Where is their side of the story? How come it has not been on social media, on the news, nothing, where anybody that's connected with those 3 officers to come out on camera and start pointing fingers? Has anybody thought about that? Because I watch a lot of media, and I have yet to see anybody from the families of these officers speak out. Just a little information. If it's out there on video, send it to me. Prove me wrong. But let's go.
I can
somebody told me like, oh, he's a Coachella guy, and I was like, he's from the concert. Like, no, he's from the city.
The city.
Oh.
Oh.
So he's a
But the local
California
news,
guy.
Different.
local Coachella news did a thing about him because he got some award or something for being Capitol Police on that day. But he's the one in the video where he's offering them water, and he looks kind of shell shocked.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
He looks.
Okay, I'll look for him. I'll look for him.
I've been in combat, so I know that feeling. His
He
buddy's trying to
looks-
talk to him, and he's like,
Yeah, he looks like he's out.
yeah, he's out of it.
Yeah.
So
I'm so glad that I met you because the media makes you into a monster.
it does, and
I mean,
Did you hear what she said? The media makes you into monsters. It's incredible, and it's true. The media will smear your name. They'll use whatever platform they can. I mean, look at The View. I mean, look at all the lies. They just keep up with the lies. Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of them, and they just put people down. You know, look at Don Lemon. Look at the rest of them. I mean, a lot of them just got fired, which is great, and their shows ain't doing good. And you know what? I'm not gonna say I'm full of glee over it. 'Cause I actually question that. Like, why would you put yourself in a situation like that in life to degrade yourself, trying to degrade someone else? Because it will catch up to you. Karma's a bitch, and she's always hungry. You know. But let's continue.
when you watch it, you're like, let's look at clips, and it's all very like. And can I tell you a sad story?
Yeah.
I'll let you go back to it because I know you're talking about it. So
Okay, now this is the part where I think you should put on your closed caption if you can. From the story she's going to explain, she kind of whispers some of it, but with the closed caption you can hear it puts out more of what she's trying to say. And this right here shows you how wicked and evil the Democrats can be and people in government could be. Listen to the story and look how they destroyed a 21-year-old girl's life. Pay attention.
in the summer, I went to lunch with. Do you know who Emily Hernandez is? Have you met her? Heard of her? Okay, the girl who her claim to fame was she took home and put on her wall the Nancy Pelosi office of the Speaker sign.
Oh yeah.
So she was one of the people I wanted to get to really early because I was
yes.
like, I know that if I went to something like that and I took something home and put on my wall, I know that it's a memento and not a scalp.
Right.
I knew she's 21 years old.
Right.
I knew this is not
Right.
what they're making it seem.
Right.
So I had lunch with her at her country club. And I was like, so what were you doing there? And she's like this. Well, I'd never left Missouri before. I mean, my neighbor was driving to D.C. and I'd never been out of Missouri. And I was like, I'll go to D.C. because I'd heard the monuments. And I'm thinking, this girl is barely finished high school, farm girl.
Right.
Works on a farm. What do you do for a living? I work on my family's farm. And I was like, and they're turning her into public enemy number one.
I know.
And she's the most almost you almost feel sad that she's so luckily she had the lawyer and her lawyer got it done. They walked in her bedroom and they saw the thing on the wall, right? So you think, oh, she's gonna go down. She got a misdemeanor, nothing, and would walking would get probation. But on the night of the anniversary of January 6th, she got drunk in a bar.
She got a DUI.
That killed a mother.
Oh, she
Oh,
did?
killed him. That's right. That's
Killed a
right.
mother.
She rode against
And it's
traffic
clear.
for 6 miles.
And now I'm telling you because I know her.
Yeah.
What happened was when the local news starts to, you're a guy who's been in the army and
Yeah.
they talk shit, you don't care. You're
Yeah,
like, they
yeah.
play, local guy, bad
Yeah,
guy, whatever.
yeah.
This girl didn't have the emotional strength or maturity or whatever. So when she sees her face on TV as the January 6th anniversary, where are they now?
Yeah.
The Capitol insurrectionists. And she's like a 21-year-old farm girl.
Yeah.
So she, it wasn't really her nature, I think, to be drunk. Anyway, so now it's her life. She pled to a nothing charge, nothing. But because of all the attention and the focus on her and the way her neighbors treated her, the way they whispered about her in the country club, she's got.
You got DUI manslaughter.
Well, they haven't charged her yet because they haven't gotten the toxicology reports back. And I was with her on Monday, and she said, "I don't remember any of it." She herself got blacked out. She was blacked out the whole time. Doesn't remember any of it.
So who did she kill? Or
A mother. She killed
An
her.
unknown person.
Oh.
She rode against traffic for 6 miles.
6 miles at 60 miles an hour.
And
She doesn't remember any
She
of
got
it.
into a car, and the woman who was sitting next to her husband, who drove, husband in the hospital, wife died.
Oh,
Oh,
So it's terrible. It's terrible.
So there you go. So they kept the narrative up so much and putting her face on blast. All she did was steal Nancy Pelosi's Speaker of the House plaque or something that was on her door, and she pled to something. It was just like a misdemeanor, just something small. But they kept the narrative up. The fucking media and these wicked fucking people in the government, that it made her so distraught. She went out drinking. She blacked out driving, got into an accident, and somebody got killed. So because of that, and she's only 21, so because of that, now I'm not saying that it was right for her to steal what she did. No, if you went into the Capitol, you should have just kept your hands to yourself. I get it. You know, you wanted to grab something. I mean, who knows? But it doesn't justify the media to bash this girl so damn much that it totally fucked her up in the head and it cost somebody their life. Not so they destroyed her life, which it trickled down, destroyed another life. It trickled down, destroyed the woman's husband's life. So this is what the Democrats did. This blood and the media, this blood is on the media and the Democrats. And those rhino Republicans that were on that January 6th committee, and anyone that was involved, to keep pushing this narrative as if these people committed murder and got away with it, or try to get away with it. It's disgusting, it's evil, and it's wicked. Plain and simple. That's it.
I heard about it.
No, but that's an example of like, if you go deep, if you're really it's like, that's an example of like the kind of damage bad media. You can say like, oh, the media doesn't treat me fairly and they're full of shit. That's fine.
Right.
But like, it's not ruining your life. This has ruined her life. And
Exactly. She said this is how it goes with the damage that bad media can do. And I'm pretty sure, not even with this incident, I mean, we've seen the media destroy people's lives. They keep up with that fucking narrative all the time. You know? And then the shit that they want to cover up, like Nancy Pelosi's husband, this woman's father, in his underwear with a gay dude. You know, oh no, the guy broke in, and they just both happen to be in their fucking underwear in the house. Yeah, okay, we get it. But no, you can't have that. You know, you can't put that out there. You got to shut that shit down. I mean, shit, her father, Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, he was in a DUI. Somebody got hurt. Okay? And no mention of it. It came and went within a week or two. Done. Don't want to talk about it. How come he's not in prison? How come the media's not bashing him, fucking up his life? Because they're all part of that cabal, man. But here we go.
And January 6th was like a blip.
Oh, no,
But the
it's-
attention from it,
Right.
freak trip.
Yeah.
They're-
Oh yeah.
But because it takes a lot of time too.
No, but I don't mean just the words itself, but when you have people I have people calling from Oregon that have nothing to do with my business, leaving bad reviews on my website saying, oh, insurrectionist, or I had my secretary that's scared of going to work because she's saying,
Wait, hold on, Zani. It's not a bad thing to have. Like it ruined my life, or.
Well, you got the powder too. You got a
I got the
letter.
powder. I had-
It made it
they
look like,
closed down the
like
whole-
an anthrax. I think we had to call out the cops, the chemical.
did.
Why do people are so weird? People are so weird.
And it tested positive the first
The
test.
two-
And they said that somebody who knows what they're doing made sure that the first test, it'll test positive, like a field test, it'll pass that until they do the actual chemical. Like it was very premeditated, and it had like a letter, like to proud boy.
I had to get washed down, has
So look at that. You got people on the left sending this man to his business anthrax. It's insane. I'm telling you, some people are truly fucked in the head, man. You know, because of what the media keeps saying. Insurrectionists, insurrectionists, insurrectionists. And then they go to bed and pretend like, oh, I did my job. No, you fucking lied all day. How do you sleep? What God do you worship that you think by doing that it's okay to destroy people's lives, to put shit in other people's heads that drive them nuts to go and want to hurt other people? Now, some people may watch this that are on the left and say, well, that's what Donald Trump did. No, he fucking did not. No, he did not. But let's keep going.
It referenced the your
beeping
thing's
on
beeping too loudly now. How do you like this?
I opened the letter. I went to
The
work.
powder
My
goes
secretary,
off.
I thought it was a bill or something. And when I opened my letter, I just went like that. White powder came out. I was thinking already, all right, anthrax or something like that. Who knows? Crazy people.
And the FBI shows up, and they were more like, it's almost like they were more interested in just searching his office. We were like, we didn't even trust them because they were like using it like, oh, who is he? And then we had to get the postal inspector out there to try and like, it was like a jurisdictional thing.
Yeah.
It was a mess, total mess.
Yeah, my employees, I have about 20 employees. They're worried. Too.
Look, you're such an upstanding member of society.
Uh,
Do they talk about that in the court?
no, of course not.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like I said, no, I've never done nothing
At
wrong.
the trial, they will.
At the trial, they will.
Yeah, status hearings is very.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna call me a white supremacist. As a matter of fact, I want it in Spanish. That was my first language, so
That would be fine.
I want to interpret.
And there you go. He said he wants his court case done in Spanish because he speaks Spanish, but they're calling him a white supremacist, and they didn't bring up the fact in court that somebody sent, anthrax to him. It's like they say they care, but they don't give a fuck. They don't care who gets hurt. They truly don't. As long as nobody on their team gets hurt, they don't give a flying fuck what happens to people on the other side. And it's evil. And how people could keep voting Democrat or for these rhino Republicans, it's beyond me. It truly is. I mean, I'm born and raised in the Bronx, my whole life, and New York has turned into a fucking shithole because of what the left has done. And just look around. I mean, you look at my other videos, I'll tell you how Chicago's fallen, the way what's going on in California, I'm truly not understanding. I mean, look at what's happening in Michigan, in New York, Chicago, California, Portland, Oregon. I mean, look at what's going on. Look at Pennsylvania. I mean, they got streets that, these people out in the streets, they look like zombies because they're all on drugs. Look at what's going on in Arizona with all the illegals coming in, cutting through. Which, by the way, that election was stolen also. Because they needed to shut down, the Republicans needed to shut down Arizona, but no, the Democrats needed Arizona. They needed that border open. So whatever got passed by Abbott in Texas, they knew there was nobody in Arizona to stop them. Think about that, people. Kari Lake won that election. Imagine if Abbott was protecting Texas and then Kari Lake was protecting Arizona. We wouldn't have this many illegals coming in. All the drugs, all the crime, the rapes, the murders, all that, no. But the left, they don't give a fuck. They don't care who gets hurt. They don't care who dies. Literally, they don't care who dies. Well, let's go.
Okay, so I want you to know that I'm from New York City, and I was always a long time ago friends with Gavin McGinnis, who's supposedly the guy that started the Proud Boys.
Right, yes.
And when you say it was a drinking club, I'm just telling you guys, I don't know what the Proud Boys is, but I know Gavin McGinnis. I went on road trips with him to parties. Mm-hmm. It was so comical to me when I first started hearing about Proud Boys are supreme. This was years ago when they started saying in Brooklyn, where he's from. I was like, what? This guy, he may talk shit, but a lot of it is he's a provocateur. He says it to be funny or whatever. Right. But the idea that he's now being elevated to being this, it totally makes me laugh because I'm like, I know this guy. I've been to many parties with him, and I know he just says some crazy shit.
So
there you go. So she hung out with the founder of the Proud Boys, supposedly, and yet the January 6th narrative is the Proud Boys were in that crowd, and they arrested a bunch of them. So Nancy Pelosi's daughter hung out with the founder of the Proud Boys, and yet they're saying that the Proud Boys went there and caused all this shit, and they're getting in trouble. How does that work? Make it make sense. Please, somebody make it make sense.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be the godfather, and I know that. So when they say Proud Boy, I'm always like, what is a bad boy? So that's why it's funny to me. It's
Yeah, like I said, we'll sit around the table or call each other. Hey, where you want to meet up? Can't even figure out where to go eat, and it's like.
No, I mean, I know the Brooklyn version of those guys, and I was just like, so I just wanted you to know that. Like, I have a whole history with these people, and I'm like, come on, you're like, that's just kind of like, anyway. Okay, well, I know that you have a job and a life and places to go. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to fuck you. I'm not going to do whatever you think it is about editing something stupid or bad.
Yeah.
No, I promise I won't.
Do you mind if I get a picture with you? No, I promise.
No, I mean, I wish I had.
I'm not gonna do nothing bad. I'm not gonna.
You can put a.
All right, so you've seen all that. It's crazy why this video hasn't been put out more and dissected more and used as, you know, as some kind of ammunition towards the Democrats and their narrative is beyond me, you know. But people need to open up their eyes and see. I mean, this is firsthand from the daughter of the woman who could have had the National Guard there, and she refused to. She refused to. And, you know, people can say what they want. Did something happen on that day? Absolutely. You got to, I mean, obviously. But did it happen exactly every single way the Democrats are saying it did? No. No, not by far. There are too many inconsistencies. A lot of it points right back to the left and to some people on the right that wanted to smear Donald Trump and his voters. People need to get that through their fucking heads already. And I say it that way, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it's the damn truth. People's lives have been affected, yes. People did die, yes. But it's not the way the Democrats are saying. But anyway, hope you liked the video. I'll leave a link in the description. Don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. I want to thank everybody that's been watching my videos and subscribing. Still got a long way to go, but I'm doing my best. And remember, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.